Hello everyone, my name is Suman Dua and I'm a registered migration agent at Nationwide Migration and Education. We make videos every week in regards to Australian migration, and if you are interested in this topic, you may wish to subscribe to our channel. Today's video will discuss some updates regarding the general skilled migration visas for subclass 190 and 491 in this financial year. We will look at the visa numbers and the recent updates from each state and territory. Let's first look at Tasmania. So Tasmania was allocated 2,150 seats for 190 and 2,100 seats for 491 last financial year. In their newsletter, Tasmania has advised that the Australian government has issued Tasmania's allocation for the state and territory nominated visa categories for the 2023-24 program year. The allocations are skilled nominated subclass 190 visa, 600 places, and skilled work regional subclass 491 visa, 600 places as well. Now this allocation is significantly lower than anticipated. The Department of Home Affairs has advised that reductions have been enacted across the entire state and territory nominated program due to the large number of visa applications on hand following the high quotas and subsequent number of nominations issued in 2022-23. Tasmania has further advised that we understand that this will significantly concern many current and prospective applicants. We are continuing to engage with the Australian government on this matter. Further details in relation to how Tasmania's skilled migration state nomination program will be managed for 2023-24 will be provided shortly. Applications for nomination lodged but not yet decided. Applications for nomination that have been lodged but not yet decided will continue to be processed. Those lodged before 1st July 2023 against the requirements that were in place at the end of application. If approved, they will be nominated in Skill Select shortly. Now, Tasmania also conducted a webinar to update applicants regarding their program this year, and the key points in this webinar were that Tasmania will give very few invitations to overseas applicants and primarily give to those with a job offer from a TAS employer. It is unlikely to nominate overseas applicants if there is no job offer. Secondly, the state wants to focus on retaining people already living and working in Tasmania, but it will be highly competitive. The state has been generous with renominations in the past, but this will not be the case this year. They do not have enough places, unfortunately, so suppose there is a mistake in EY after the applicant has been nominated or the skills assessment or English language test expires. In that case, they won't do a nomination again without a new application. So the applicants are required to do a new EY and a new ROI and wait for a nomination again. And for applicants who are wondering about their chances, it will really come down to priority attributes. The gold attributes would be the best as they will be automatically invited, and the more green means the more chances. Someone with 4 green attributes will get invited quicker, but someone with 1 attribute may get invited in 8 weeks or more. Now with the orange category, they are not sure if they will be able to invite anyone within 6 months. Now graduates will have a little bit of an edge, especially if doing skilled work connected to their skilled studies. They have also advised that you may want to look for other options for gaining more work experience and taking advantage of the visa extensions being given by the Department of Home Affairs to upskill yourself or look for employer-sponsored visas. Now, once invited to apply for nomination, they will process it way quicker this year compared to last year's processing time. Now, last year, Tasmania could invite most ROIs within 6 months, but this is not going to be the case this year. There is a possibility that your ROI will expire in 6 months and you will have to do a new ROI. But if you're looking for the subclass 491 business owner category, there are priority attributes for these businesses as well, like the level of investment and employment level of income you're drawing from it. For example, a graduate running a business with a connection to studies is another key attribute that they'll be looking at. Now let's look at Victoria. Victoria was allocated 12,900 seats for 190 visa and 2,000 seats for 491 last financial year. In their newsletter, Victoria has advised that the Australian government has allocated 3,300 skilled visa nomination places to Victoria for the 2023-24 program. Victoria's allocation consists of 2,700 places for the 190 visa, and 600 places for the 491 visa. More information on the 2023-24 program, including eligibility requirements and program dates, will be published on the Live in Melbourne website when available. Now let's look at Northern Territory. Northern Territory was allocated 600 seats for 190 and 1400 seats for 491 in the last financial year. In their newsletter, Northern Territory has advised that unexpectedly, the Australian government has provided a significantly reduced allocation of GSM nominations for the 2023-24 program year as compared to previous years. In order to manage the current pipeline of nomination applications against the reduced allocation, Migration NT will temporarily stop accepting new nomination applications from 5 p.m. Thursday, 24th August 2023. Existing applications that have already been lodged through the online Migration NT portal prior to this time will continue to be assessed under existing eligibility criteria, and eligible applicants will be issued nominations. Please note that this eligibility criteria will be strictly applied. Once the existing applications have been assessed, the program will be reopened for subclass 491 nomination applications only and with tighter criteria. Now, these details will be published on their website. Those with visas expiring should seek professional advice on their visa options and ensure they remain lawful during their stay in Australia. The Northern Territory government continues to advocate for an increased allocation and for migration settings that suit the needs of the territory. Now let's look at South Australia. South Australia was allocated 3,000 seats for 190 and 5,800 seats for 491 last financial year. In their news update, South Australia has advised that recently the Commonwealth Government provided advice of its decision to significantly reduce visa nomination allocations for South Australia's General Skilled Migration Program in 2023-24. An allocation of 2,300 nomination places has been provided, which contrasts with the 8,800 places allocated to the state in 2022-23. We will continue to support South Australia's priority industries with the limited places available, including our focus on attracting overseas skilled migrants in critical sectors such as health and defence. Further information about the 2023-24 GSM program will be announced shortly, and GSM applications from the 2022-23 financial year will be finalised in the coming weeks. The next one I have is New South Wales. New South Wales was allocated 9,108 seats for the 190 visa and 6,168 seats for the 491 visa last financial year. In the news update, New South Wales has advised that aligned with the Australian government, our goals are straightforward. We are using our nominations to address skills shortages across various sectors with a special focus on priority areas including health, education and infrastructure. Our work with the Australian government helps us find the best ways to fill these gaps in New South Wales. Information on how state and territory allocations has been distributed for the 2023-24 year have been published on the Home Affairs website. It is essential to distinguish between Home Affairs planning levels and state and territory allocations. Home Affairs planning levels refer to the total number of visas that can be granted in the given financial year. This figure includes primary and secondary applicants and encompasses applications carried over from previous financial years, a significant amount in many cases. A state's allocation refers to the number of primary applicants a state may nominate for a particular visa during a single financial year. Unlike planning levels, this number does not include secondary applicants. Recognizing this distinction is vital for understanding the broader migration landscape and how individual states like New South Wales fit within it. We remain dedicated to helping regional New South Wales prosper. Our regional skilled migration program ensures that skilled workers can be assessed by businesses in regional New South Wales. We are continuing our seminars across New South Wales to help regional employers with planning their workforce. Your opportunities in New South Wales. We are partnering with the Australian government on the Dream Big campaign to encourage migration to New South Wales. We are committed to making New South Wales an appealing place for skilled migrants from around the world. Stay tuned for exciting events coming up. The Skilled Migration Visa program is crucial for providing skilled workers in priority areas. This helps New South Wales grow by attracting skilled migrants, encouraging innovation, and making our economy more competitive. Our nomination guidelines will largely remain consistent with last year's framework. However, adjustments to the skilled occupation list are under consideration, reflecting our ongoing commitment to aligning with the current needs and priorities. While we don't anticipate significant changes, we recognize the importance of staying responsive to emerging trends. Any updates or alterations will be announced as promptly as possible, and for the most up-to-date information, we recommend that you regularly check our website. Our skilled invitation rounds will continue throughout the financial year. We expect these rounds to be highly competitive. Because receiving an invitation to apply for our nomination is not guaranteed, we strongly urge all those interested in migrating to New South Wales to explore all other migration pathways and not rely solely on being invited. It is likely that invitation rounds will begin near the end of September. Now let's look at Canberra. ACT was allocated 2,025 seats for 190 and 2,025 seats for 491 last financial year. In their news update, the director of ACT Migration Program has advised that the allocation for the ACT in state and territory nominated visa categories for 2023-24 are as follows. Skilled nominated visa subclass 190 has been given 600 places, and skilled work regional provisional visa subclass 491 has been given 600 places as well. I appreciate that this allocation is smaller than the allocation in 2022-23. It is also significantly smaller than the allocation that the ACT requested from the Department of Home Affairs. We acknowledge the impacts this may have on your business and on skilled migrants living in or wishing to migrate to ACT. The Australian federal government has committed through National Cabinet to providing a greater role for states and territories to contribute to Australia's migration settings as part of the development of the new National Migration Strategy. Engagement has already commenced with our jurisdiction in the development of the strategy. We look forward to the release of the strategy later in the year. ACT nomination guidelines and ACT critical skills list. We note that the recent review undertaken and announced in April this year, there are no further changes at this stage to either the ACT nomination guidelines or the ACT critical skills list. However, we anticipate a review later in the year and will advise any significant changes in due course. We endeavour to provide migrants and agents with as much notice as possible, but changes may occur at short notice. Please make sure that you check our website frequently for updates. Regarding the invitation rounds, they have advised that our aim is to continue with regular invitation rounds. The frequency may differ this year based on a range of factors, noting the lower allocation. We will provide updates on invitation rounds through the ACT Migration website. The next invitation round will be undertaken before 29th of September 2023. Now, given the lower allocation this year, you can expect the number of invitations to decrease, which will also likely result in higher minimum scores meriting an invitation. Now let's look at Queensland. Queensland was allocated 3,000 seats for 190 and 2,000 seats for 491 last financial year. In their news update, Queensland has advised that the Department of Home Affairs has provided states and territories with reduced nomination allocations for the 2023-24 program year. This year, Queensland's number of allocations is 1,550 skilled visa nomination applications, which is significantly less than the requested amount. Based on this, the criteria will focus on attracting highly skilled migrants to Queensland, and we are considering the timing of our program opening. This year, Queensland state nominations will be highly competitive given our limited places, and we encourage prospective applicants to also consider other visa options that may be appropriate to their circumstances. Queensland has been allocated 900 places for 190 visa and 650 places for the 491 visa. Now let's look at Western Australia. Western Australia was allocated 5,350 seats for 190 and 2,790 seats for the 491 last financial year. This year, Western Australia has been allocated 1,500 seats for 190 visa and 850 seats for the 491 visa. The Premier of Western Australia, Roger Cook, is calling on the federal government to reverse the decision to slash WA's nominated skilled migrant intake by 70%, saying that the workers are desperately needed to build new homes and fill a range of jobs. The Commonwealth has notified the state government its allocation for the state-nominated migration program would be drastically cut from more than 8,000 places to just 2,350 this financial year. Despite the total allocation being slashed by nearly 6,000, demand for prospective migrants remains high, with 5,000 expression of interest in WA's Skilled Migrant Employment Register. So these were all the updates from each state and territory for the 2023-24 migration program planning levels. Or you need help with skilled migration this year, please get in touch with us. If you have any questions in regards to Australian migration, please get in touch with us. You can visit our website nationwidemigration.com.au and book a consultation online. If you would like to stay updated about Australian migration, please subscribe to our channel.